Brother West. This is Brother West coming back to you. And I have a message. This is a prophetic message. This is a prophetic message. This is a prophetic word. And I must say that that my spirit is really annoyed. I'm really disturbed. I'm really disturbed in my spirit. Let me look at something like that. I am really disturbed in my spirit. I really am. Because really what God has been speaking to me today consistently is mammon and God, money and what people do for money. They do for money. How the Bible says that the love of money, the love of it, the influence of it, the appetite, the taste of money is the root of all evil. People die, they kill, they cheat, they do all of that just to get that paper. Get that paper, that lie. Families are turning against families. If you even notice that a lot of times in families when moms and dad, or moms or dad got money and they both pass, a lot of times the family fight over the money. Over the money, over the money, over the money. And I will say this, as God was speaking to me and meditating on betrayal and meditating on, the word was don't be a sellout. Don't sell your soul to Satan. Don't sell your soul to the devil, because he can give that power. Remember, he told Jesus that when Jesus was fasting for 40 days, when he was fasting, he told him that he can give him all of this. If you bow down, show them the world, the kingdoms, I can give you all of that if you bow down and worship me. and Jesus put him in his place. So he can give it. And what's disturbing to me is right when I was meditating on being a sellout, money, manipulation, that's when I saw the agreement with the U.S. and Israel for peace. I saw them, they just signed an agreement for peace, and they talking now, and it sounds great. It sounds great to come together, to have world peace. It sounds good. But I mean, you can't fool God. You cannot fool God, and I ain't been on no computer and trying to investigate and find this and that. I got God, and you cannot lie to the Holy Ghost. And because you know what, with the liar, there's a look. With the deceiver, someone who's trying to deceive you and trying to manipulate you, there's a look. It's the body language, and the Bible says that the windows of the eyes are the mirrors to the soul. When your eyes do not lie, they ain't gonna lie. They ain't gonna lie. You can talk and do all that all you want to, but your eyes don't lie. It ain't nothing but a setup. Nothing but a setup. I know it. Setup. And of course, the thing that jumped in my spirit with the peace agreement, when the Bible says, when they say peace, then there's going to come sudden destruction. That's the word. And I feel that when they say peace, there's going to come sudden destruction. And it always happens. Someone don't get paid enough money, or someone don't get something, and somebody get mad and buck and want to fight. This being set up. It's being set up where Jesus, he's close. Because the Bible says that when the gospel is preached throughout the whole world, but the end is not yet. His return not yet. But his return is going to happen when Judah breaks the rod of the agreement with his brother. When he breaks that agreement with Israel. Now that's what the Bible says. That's when Jesus will come back. And they just agreed. They just agreed. They just agreed on peace. So the Bible says that Jesus is going to return when this agreement is broken. Get your house in order. You can joke, you can laugh, you can kiki, and you can hee-hee. Jesus is coming back soon. And he said that he's coming as a thief in the night. You can play, you can joke, or whatever you want to. It's time to get your house in order. If you're playing God, if you're playing holy, if you're playing righteous, if you're playing church, you need to stop playing. You need to stop playing because you're going to get caught right in between. Because Jesus is coming as a thief in the night. It's close. Close, close, close. It's close. The agreement just been signed. Just been signed. And what's going to cause Jesus' return is the disagreement. It's when that agreement is broken. It's there. It's there. I was going to say this right here. Loyalty. Loyalty. Are you loyal? Are you loyal to yourself? Or are you loyal to God? Are you loyal? I mean, and there's so many people that are disloyal, dishonest. And money doesn't. I want to say this right here. This is what I'm going to say. There's coming a time, and the time is upon us now, where there's so many people that say that they love God. There's so many people that they're following God holy. They will never turn their back on God. Well, something is getting ready to happen where there's going to be a whole lot of people are going to be persuaded by money. Persuaded by money to turn their back on their own people. Persuaded by money to turn their back on what's right. Persuaded by money to turn their back on what they agreed to. Just like the reason why, I'm going to be honest, one of the reasons why I married my wife, and the thing about my wife, and this is me, she wasn't raised in church. She didn't have a church experience. I mean, she learned God along the way. And to be honest, you know, when I met my wife, you know, she was coming out the streets. She was coming out the streets. But the reason why I did that, the reason why, you know, I fell for my wife because, and the reason why I was attracted to my wife because of loyalty. She was loyal. And the thing that I feel so much that I guess as choosing trying to find the woman or whatever, because one of the things that, you know, the reason why, you know, I went through the divorce was because, you know, I felt like the person didn't have my back. When honest, we're loyal. Was loyal to themselves, were loyal to what they can get, but not loyal to me, not loyal to us as a family. And these were church folk. And so, and being raised in church, I just saw so much evil and so much wickedness and so much whoremongering and so much deception and so much, it's just worse in the church world than in the world. And so, you know, I look for someone who I could trust. I look for someone who was loyal. And that's what I told my wife. I told her, I said, you know, don't worry about the prophet. Just take care of me. Just take care of the man, the person. Just take care of the person. I'm talking about loyal. See, my wife got my back. See, that's why I married her, because she got my back. And see, if we had to fight, and knuckle them up, my wife will be back to back with me. She got my back. And so that's what God is looking for. Loyalty. Jesus' disciples fed them, taught them, did all that for them. Did everything for them. And Judas betrayed him some money. Can you believe that? And what was a trip was that Jesus knew what he had already done. He had that look on him. He had that look on him, looked and told him, denied it. And so, betrayal. Are you loyal? And that's what you're going to begin to hear. And that's what you're going to begin to hear and begin to see a lot. Is people betraying people. People that you thought that had your back. People that you thought that had your best interest at mind, at heart. But you're going to discover that it wasn't so. It was just a plot. It was just a ploy. It was just a tactic. It was just a strategy to use you, to get what they wanted and betray you. You gave everything, but it seemed like they gave, but they didn't. It was just an illusion. It was just that angel as a light, coming, becoming a chameleon, becoming the very thing that you asking for, the very thing that you praying for, just for you to sign on the dotted line. And after you sign on the dotted line, that's what's gonna happen. That's when it's gonna happen. That's just like in marriage. Just like in marriage, you can shack up and live together all you want to. Shack up and live together all you want to. Don't mean nothing. But when you sign on the dotted line, that's different. Because when you sign on the dotted line, that's an agreement. When you sign on the dotted line, you sign it before me and God, you and God, and that person. To death us do part. And so that means commitment. That means commitment. When you sign on the dotted line, that means I'm committed because I got my documentation there. And a good name is to be preferred more than rubies. And so, because I put my documentation on it, I got to stand by it. Got to stand by it. And I will say this, the reason why many of you are being beat and going through what you're going through in your relationship is because you signed the wrong agreement. You made the wrong agreement. And now that you signed this agreement, you're being beat. You're being beat. It's just like when the children of Israel was going into their promised land, and God told them to drive them all out. Benjamin, Judah, they drove some out. Some ain't do nothing at all. And when God got there to give portion, God said, well, no, it was my desire that that this land be yours all alone. But because you decided, because of sex, because of selling of goods and hustling and pimping and all that, because you wanted to do all this right here, but also you was afraid of it, but you're in their heart. They're in your heart now. They done got in your heart. And so because of all that, they can stay, but they're going to beat you. There will be a thorn in your eye. There will be a stickler. They're going to beat you. And so a lot of stuff that many of you are going through is just the labor. It's just the fruit of your own hand. You planted the seed. You made the choice. And the harvest of the choice is coming back. You're being beat. But wow. Hear what I'm saying. But why are you being beat in a bad harvest, in a bad storm? Just weather it, and just handle the pressure and know God's grace is sufficient. No crop failure. You gotta go through it. You gotta bear it. Because there's a teaching moment. And the pain and the suffering, there's a teaching moment. There's some stuff that's being squeezed out of you. There's some jealousy. There's some hate. There's some pride. There's some stuff that's been squeezed out of you. Oh, it is. And so he had to leave you there. Had to leave you there on the potter's wheel. Oh yeah, you're on there. You're being beat. He's there with you. I love you, but you're being beat. And so why you're going through what you're going through, why you're suffering, and why you're going to be chastised, what you do is just bear it, don't complain, plant seeds of love, plant seeds of joy, plant seeds of determination, plant seeds of wisdom, plant seeds of breakthroughs. Do all that, plant all them seeds, And the thing about this harvest that you plant while you're planting that storm, this harvest will come up fast. This harvest that you're planting while you're in the midst of a barrage, this harvest is going to come up fast. God bless you and have a smile.